The most disturbing videos before disaster volume 5 iceberg. Abyssal Detective 2. Bro, some of the best videos I've seen come from this guy.
24 videos, 7 levels. This iceberg features.
Bro, and that's hard, dude. To be blurring some of it, that's so good, dude. Like, dude just knows what he's doing.
Most disturbing incidents caught moments before disaster. We'll start with the unexpected and move deeper into incidents so disturbing you wouldn't believe them if they weren't recorded.
Bro, he never even lying, too. They get disturbing, bro. I'm so ready for this.
The Dancing God. In Temkuhiraj, a town in India's Kushinagar district, a vibrant Dol Mela celebration turned into a viral tragedy.
Oh, shit.
At first glance, the footage looks like countless other festivals, with performers dressed as Hindu deities dancing in a religious...
Dude, that looks fun as that looks like Burning Man, but like it's spiritual.
This procession. One of those performers was a 23-year-old man named Rambahal portraying Lord Shiva. And midway through the procession, Rambahal begins to get tired. But when he sits down on an iron pipe attached to the stage, he assumes it's harmless. And things take a turn for the worse. His movements change. His body visibly stiffens, and when Rambahal tries to stand, he suddenly collapses, hitting the ground hard. The music
Did he get electrocuted?
Continues for a moment before confusion spreads. People nearby rush in to help, only to realize the performer is still in contact with the stage's metal frame, live with electricity.
Oh, that's what I thought, bro.
Anyone who would touch it risks becoming part of the circuit. Helping him becomes increasingly challenging as people hesitate and pull back, yet every second passed was thinning the chances of the man surviving. Eventually, police officials stationed at the fair are alerted, so they quickly move in and clear the area. Rambal is lifted down from the float and rushed to the Temkuhiraj community.
Bro, I mean, just with the setup, like it's probably high voltage, dude. Like, and for him to go out just like and just pass out kind of like that and just stiffen up, it was probably super high voltage.
Health center, only to be pronounced dead. Investigations later showed that the iron pipe he sat on had become electrified, likely due to faulty wiring connected to the trolley's equipment. Following this, Rambahal's father, Girdhari, filed a complaint against the fair organizers, accusing them of negligence. As a result, 11 individuals, including the DJ operator and tractor driver, were taken into custody.
Wow. Hey, at least they did something about it. I mean, that is negligence for them to even have, like, you guys have like like first responders stationed at the event, and then we're not even gonna have it like set up where the electrical's not like live danger for them.
DJ operator and
that's totally reasonable. What at least a good outcome of that. That's so sad he died though.
Deadly fun fair ride. At the Spanish City Summer Fun Fair in Whitley Bay on August 28, 2025, a fairground worker, Corey Lee Stavers, is working near one of the rides as families move through the plaza around him. The area is still part of an active work site, even with the ride functioning. And as he's working, what happens next shocks everyone. The moment Corey steps back, the ride comes crashing down on his head, pinning him to the ground. When it leaves, there's a brief moment of hope for the worker to get out of its range, but before it can, it comes down again.
Oh my God.
People in the surrounding area scream frantically for the ride to stop, and at exactly 2:15 p.m.
Oh, it's like that one that like shakes around in a circle. Oh my God, dude, he got hit by the whole thing.
Emergency services are called to the plaza in response to reports of a serious workplace injury. As responders arrive, they find Corey Stavers with a severe head injury. Fairgoers are kept at a distance while responders do their work.
Oh, it would swell your head up so much you'd have like a hemorrhaging and brain damage.
Despite their best efforts, Corey Stavers is declared dead on site. Early reports suggest he was attempting to retrieve a jacket near the attraction, though specific details were withheld pending investigation. Corey's family later released a statement describing their grief as devastating and asked for privacy as they tried
because that's not even negligence, bro. He wasn't supposed to be there.
to process their sudden loss.
Damn, dude.
Monkey Forest Tragedy. The sacred Monkey Forest Sanctuary in Ubud, Bali is usually associated with calm paths,
Oh my God, did they
ancient
maul
temples,
somebody?
and curious tourists. But on December 10th, 2024, that calm was shattered in seconds. Earlier that day, heavy rain and strong winds had been battering the area throughout the day. Despite the worsening weather, tourists continued walking through the sanctuary unaware of the danger overhead. Without warning,
no.
a large tree
Like a tree?
near a temple area gave way. As it fell, it struck surrounding trees and branches, causing a chain reaction
Oh, wow.
that sent debris
Oh, wow. It took down every single tree in sight.
crashing down onto a crowded walkway. CCTV and phone footage captured the moment visitors began running in panic as the path became chaotic. Amidst the chaos, emergency responders began almost immediately as unstable branches hang overhead. Staff rush in to push visitors back while rescuers work to reach those trapped beneath the fallen debris. Reports reveal that two female foreign tourists were killed on site while several others, seriously injured, were rushed to Kenak Medica Ubud Hospital. Following the incident, authorities closed the site and began inspections. Investigation later confirmed that the tree collapse was caused by a combination of severe weather and aging vegetation.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, they should have just closed the walkway down for the weather.
Even though sanctuary management insisted that the tree had been in good condition. Eventually, the sanctuary was temporarily restricted while safety checks were conducted.
Wow.
Level 2.
I mean, that's just the same as that demolition video where that guy got hit with a rock from the building that got taken down. Like, it's just, you shouldn't push it, you know? The universe is going to push back.
The fallen live wire. After a powerful storm swept through Tra Vinh province in southern Vietnam, heavy rain and strong winds uprooted trees and damaged infrastructure across several communes. In one area, a roadside flame tree collapsed onto a low-voltage power line, snapping it and leaving a live wire hanging dangerously low across a roadway. Minutes later, two young men in their mid-20s rode down the road on a motorbike. They were local mechanics traveling a route they knew well. However, in the dim, rain-soaked conditions, they didn't see the wire.
Oh, it's just hanging right there?
Until it was too late. The motorbike struck the live cable, and both men were immediately thrown off, with one going limp while the other struggled to move. Residents nearby heard
Holy
the sound
shit.
and rushed out, quickly realizing the danger. Authorities were called and power crews arrived to shut off the electricity, but it was too late. Turns out the pair had been electrocuted at the scene before help could reach them.
Yeah, bro, power line wire? Like, that's instantly going to kill you.
At the request of their families, no post-mortem examination was conducted, and the victims were released.
Oh, dude, he's like writhing on the floor.
However, in the hours that followed, authorities continued their review, and officials later acknowledged that the delay in identifying the fallen wire played a critical role in their deaths.
Wow. I mean, you'd never imagine a power line wire to just be hanging in the middle of the road.
Russia's flying roof. In Russia's Sakhalin Island, residents were already dealing with the effects of a powerful cyclone moving across the region, with several storm warnings being issued. But no one expected what happened next. On October 17, 2021, in the town of Alexandrov-Sokolinski, when winds intensified across residential neighborhoods, the roofing sheets of an apartment block began to shift. CCTV footage later showed the material sliding, lifting, then peeling away from the building entirely.
Yo, that's some bad construction, though. I mean, that thing wasn't even held down.
The debris didn't fall straight down. Caught by the wind, it was carried outward into the street below. And unaware pedestrians
Oh, no. Oh, they'd get destroyed, bro.
were caught in its path. At the time, emergency services were already stretched thin, responding to fallen trees, damaged buildings, and disabled power lines, so the rescue response wasn't immediate. Authorities noted that 13 settlements in the Alexandrov-Sakhalinsky district lost power, with critical facilities switching to backup power. In the end, 2 people, a man and a woman, were later confirmed as the immediate victims. The man died immediately at the scene.
Wow.
While the woman,
I mean, yeah, it's a terminal velocity roof flying at you. Like, it's like metal.
was reported to have died while being operated on at the hospital. Local prosecutors opened an investigation to determine whether the roofing had been properly installed
Ain't no
or
way.
if preventable failures contributed to the incident. The review later pointed to negligence in how the roofing had been secured,
That's what I'm saying, bro. No way it blows off like
citing
that.
the fact that the materials were not properly reinforced to withstand cyclone-level winds. No immediate criminal charges were announced.
I was gonna say, well, that might not be something that they agreed that they would do. Like, you know what I mean? Like cyclone winds sounds very specific. It's like insurance policies, dude. Like it's gotta be very specific.
But the case became part of a wider review of construction standards across the region following the storm.
Because then it's construction standards. So then it's really the government who messed up, but they're trying to say, you know, it wasn't really us, but we're gonna fix it. BS, dude.
Before the crash, thousands of spectators gathered at Vectron Daytona Air
these
Show
are the
in
worst,
Ohio,
dude.
expecting thrilling aerial performances. Jane Wicker was one of the most anticipated.
Have we seen
acts.
this?
A veteran wing walker, she was known for performing without safety harnesses, standing atop planes as they flew at low altitude. On June 22, 2013, she flew with pilot Charlie Schwenker in a Boeing Stearman, preparing for a low-level aerobatic maneuver. They had practiced the day before, and so far no issues had been reported. The weather was fair, and the visibility was just right. Still, that day, things did not go as planned. Video footage showed the aircraft began its pass lower and slower than intended.
Okay,
At the
I have
same
not
time,
seen
Jane
this one.
was still repositioning on the wing. The maneuver didn't complete as intended, and the plane suddenly rolled. Failing to stabilize, it drifted outside the
Bro, she don't have a parachute or nothing? Like, you can't just jump?
performance area. Investigators later concluded there was no major
Oh, bro. And then they just saw all that and then you gotta be like, oh, let's go, guys. Let's go to the car.
mechanical failure, and the aircraft was under control. It was the maneuver that simply ran out of altitude, leaving no room left to recover. Only after this investigation did officials confirm that both Jane Wicker and
was just
Charlie
bad strategy.
Schwenker were killed when the aircraft struck the ground.
It was just bad execution. They didn't do it correctly. Oh, that's so sad. It's not even negligence at that point. It's just like, that's the downside of doing these stunts.
In front of the crowd. What unsettled many people were Wicker's own words from an earlier interview. She had once described wing walking as just me, the airplane, and the sky. She knew the risks, and in the end,
Yeah.
the thing she loved ended her life.
That's just sad, bro. Live fast or die young, whatever.
Buried underneath. In February 2025, construction work was underway at an underdevelopment building site in Hyderabad, India. However, at some
Bro, I always get nervous with these, bro. Like the third world construction ones, because they do cut corners, bro.
point during the excavation, a mud retaining wall gave way. There was no explosion or mechanical failure. Still, the collapse happened suddenly and without warning.
Oh.
Some are able to avoid the debris, but with how quickly things escalated, a few didn't have time
The whole thing's going.
to escape. Thus, they were buried alive. People rush towards the edge of the pit, shouting and trying
God.
to help, but the unstable ground makes it dangerous to approach. Dust fills the air as rescuers hesitate, aware that another collapse could follow. Emergency responders were called. They arrived quickly, but despite rescue efforts, a father, his son, and his nephew were pronounced dead on site.
Oh, and they're all just trying to work and make a living. That's so sad.
All were laborers assigned to the excavation. Another worker survived but suffered serious injuries.
Bro, and the way they do that, it's like you're contracted to work on this project. Like, they're not going to pay your family out or anything like that. Like, you just picked a project that you happen to die on. Like, that's how they see it.
Investigation later confirmed that the collapse occurred at a corner of the excavation cellar, where weakened soil gave way and buried the workers below. GHMC officials determined that excavation began without the required commencement notice, despite an earlier warning to follow safety measures. Consequently, they concluded that the deaths were caused by the builder's failure to comply with permit conditions.
Good. Okay, good.
Following these findings, LB Nagar police filed a criminal case for negligence. The architect and structural engineer involved were blacklisted and had their licenses canceled.
Yeah, bro. And you're in the middle of this project that you probably put a lot forward to. Like you're so in the shit now.
The building permit was eventually revoked, and the regional government announced financial assistance for the victims' families, reported at 500,000 rubles per house.
Ooh. Is that enough? Okay, rubles. $6,000, brother. That's not enough. $6,500 for them dying to the family. Which maybe that's a good amount of money. Maybe you can get a lot with that and like do the ceremony and all the things that you need to do.
Disasters so far could have been avoided, but the next levels carry incidents so outrageous that it's hard to forget them. So hit that subscribe button.
Bro, what a beast, dude.
A newlywed couple in Yemen visited a reservoir near Kamran Dam to celebrate their marriage. But nothing prepared them for what was about to happen. The video they recorded began on a
oh no, I think I've seen this video.
happy note, with the pair laughing and making jokes. But in their excitement, the couple moved farther away from the shore. Suddenly, their movements become frantic. The laughter stops, turning into helpless screams.
And they just get pulled under. I remember this.
The camera continues to record as they struggle, calling out and attempting to stay afloat. But there was no one nearby.
I forgot what happened,
Only later
though.
does it become clear that neither of them could swim. So one by one, they disappeared beneath the surface.
No way, bro. They just couldn't swim? I do not remember that. I thought it was like something bit at the lady or something.
The recording does not stop right away. The phone continues capturing the empty water for several seconds before the footage ends.
Bro, that's so sad. It's just because they couldn't swim. I did not know that. And they literally just drowned. They needed a lifeguard.
Strict instructions prohibiting citizens from swimming in the Kamran Dam area south of Sana'a, citing the ongoing risks posed by the site.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be signs and stuff for that.
The incident makes you realize the unpredictability of life. 1 second we're laughing, and the next.
I mean, but y'all know you can't swim, though. Y'all are totally aware that you can't swim, and we don't want to test the water, see how deep it goes, like make sure it's cool, like, I don't know, man. Maybe it was like a sudden drop in the floor, like the floor of the river or the dam.
Struggle for life. On January 11th, 2026, a road accident in Noida, India, exposed one of the biggest loopholes in the city's infrastructure. 27-year-old IT professional Yuvraj Mehta was driving home around midnight. It was Sector 150 of Noida, a city near the capital Delhi, and dense fog had reduced visibility to almost zero. Because of that, Yuvraj couldn't see the low boundary wall, and before he could pull back, the vehicle collided with it head-on. To make matters worse, just beyond that wall was a
He just drove straight into the wall.
Deep pit full of water. Yuvraj hadn't out.
Did you show it?
Couldn't see the low boundary wall, and before he could pull back, the vehicle collided.
Yo, why is he driving this way though? Like you can see there's nothing over there.
Reduced visibility to almost zero. Because of that, Yuvraj couldn't see the low boundary wall, and before he could pull back, the vehicle collided.
That's so sad, dude.
Head-on. To make matters worse, just beyond that wall was a deep pit full of water. Yuvraj hadn't even recovered from the crash, and his car was already in the water. He didn't know how to swim, so to stay above the water, he desperately climbed onto the sinking car and lay flat. Yuvraj called his father, who rushed to the site and alerted emergency.
Bro, you're just gonna have a hard time if you don't know how to swim, and then you're in like a water disaster. Like you're kind of done for. Like you're really working against the elements there. Dude, that one's just unfortunate, though. I mean, it's literally just a fog accident. Like, he just couldn't see.
During a temple ceremony in Kerala in
That's a whole
Aravind,
elephant.
a young Mahout, was handling an elephant named Kunjalakshmi. Video footage shows the ritual proceeding normally, only for the situation to suddenly get out of hand. Kunjalakshmi's movements became uneasy. People nearby try to reach out to calm her, but the animal's agitation grows by the second. Suddenly, the elephant surges forward, forcing Aravind off balance. In confusion, it enters a corner of the temple grounds, loses footing, and collapses. As it goes down, Aravind gets trapped beneath its legs.
Wait, let me see. I can't see with all the blurs, bro.
Calm her, but the animal's agitation grows by the second. Suddenly, the elephant surges forward, forcing Aravind off balance. In confusion, it enters a corner of the temple grounds, loses footing, and collapses. As it goes down, Aravind gets trapped beneath its legs. Panic spreads through the crowd. Most bystanders pull back instinctively. A small group of handlers rush in, trying to reach for Aravind, but the tightness of the space makes it almost impossible.
Yo, they don't even want to get involved. They're like, yeah, no, it's over.
After several tense moments, they manage to draw the elephant's attention away and create enough space to pull the Mahout free. Aravind is rushed to the hospital, but despite medical efforts, the man succumbs to his injuries.
Yeah, bro, it's like a 2-ton elephant standing on you. Like, it's not gonna go well. That's so incredibly sad, dude.
In March 2021, a live stream was already in progress when the pressure began to build, with a young woman seated in front of her setup, speaking directly to her audience and responding to comments in real time. It's a donation-driven live stream in China, where viewers can send money to spin a virtual wheel that determines what the streamer does next.
Yo, how does this go bad?
Smaller tips trigger minor challenges, but larger donations unlock increasingly extreme ones. One viewer sent roughly $13,000, and the challenge it landed on wiped the smile off the streamer's face. Consume 2 liters of alcohol.
Whoa, why would you have it on the wheel, though? That's just on the wheel? Like, someone could have donated $5 and got something like that?
But with that much money on the line, she eventually complied with the request.
I know, you'd have to do it. You have to try. 13 G's in a day for one task?
As requested by viewers in the chat, the alcohol was mixed with eggs and mustard. The drink was prepared on camera.
Why? Why?
Throughout the process, she continued engaging with her audience by reading comments, responding to messages, and encouraging further donations. But as she drank, subtle changes began to appear. Her movements slowed, her speech became less steady. Viewers noticed her condition slowly deteriorating when suddenly she collapsed.
No way.
The camera continued recording as people who were home with her
just
rushed
passed
to
out.
help. Emergency services were called and she was transported to a hospital, only to be pronounced dead. The investigation revealed a critical detail that was not visible to viewers. Prior to the live stream, she had taken cephalosporin, an antibiotic known to cause severe reactions when combined with alcohol. That interaction between the drug and the volume of alcohol...
Bro, she just happened to be on antibiotics that day when she got a 13 grand tip. Like, holy
...assumed proved fatal. The live stream was taken down shortly after her death, and the platform disabled the replay. In the days that followed, some platforms quietly adjusted their moderation guidelines, limiting extreme dares and flagging streams that
so
featured
sad, bro.
excessive drinking. Don't put your
2 liters of alcohol, I feel like alone is going to kill you, whether you're on antibiotic that reacts like that or not.
Health at risk like that for some money. Even if she wasn't on a medication, for a lot of people, 2
That's what I just said, bro. Exactly.
Could
Too
be
much.
enough for them to, like, die. That's alcohol poisoning. That's dangerous. Don't do that.
I would think a liter might kill you, you know? Like 2 liters, you're definitely going down for that.
Please. He spoke, the land answered. On September 29, 2024, a man known as Mr. Todindi stood near the roadside live streaming. In the footage, he speaks directly to the camera, pointing toward the hillside above the road. His message
He's driving with the door open.
is clear. The ground is unstable with rainwater soaked into the soil. A landslide could happen at any moment.
Oh my god, the whole thing's shifting.
And as if the universe was waiting for his signal, the hillside suddenly begins to move.
Oh my god, bro.
First, it's subtle, but then the whole slope gives way completely. A mass of soil, rocks, and debris surges downward, overwhelming the area in seconds. The camera shakes violently as the landslide reaches the road.
Oh, you're done for. Your bike's gone.
The live stream cuts out abruptly, leaving viewers questioning. By the next day, the rescue team is able to recover his body, which had been buried deeply under the mud.
Oh my god.
Search operations, however, continued for several more days.
You just suffocate.
After 4 days of intensive efforts, a second victim was located. He was identified as Nguyen Viet Tuoc, a 64-year-old resident of Thanh Tien village in Thanh Quang commune. His body was found beneath more than 3 meters of debris trapped at the foundation of his home.
Wow.
The highway was blocked beneath
just chilling at home, and then you get a landslide on top of your house.
Layers of mud and rock. Ultimately, cleanup operations began as authorities assessed the damage. Later clips circulated online, including news coverage and images from the recovery, but the focus remained on the moment the land gave way.
Wow, I've never seen a landslide video ever.
Too hot to handle. At approximately 12:47 p.m., smoke began filling the interior of the Masquerade Club in Istanbul's Besiktas district.
Oh, holy
what
shit.
Started as a small flame spread rapidly through the space. Within moments, visibility dropped as thick fog moved through the building. As the fire grew, workers
oh my god, that's a huge building.
inside attempted to escape, but the exits were blocked, and within seconds, the smoke became overwhelming. Emergency calls were made and fire crews were dispatched to the scene, but despite the rapid response, many of those inside were unable to reach safety. Above the club, the residential building remained standing as residents were evacuated. That nightclub had been closed for Ramadan and scheduled to reopen later that month, so renovation work was underway in full swing with workers installing new materials. Thus, by the time the fire was extinguished, 29 people were dead, with most of them
that's actually not that's actually like good, because that was an entire building, bro. Like that could have gone so much worse. That's crazy.
Renovation workers. Reports later uncovered several shocking details. The work was carried out under an invalid renovation permit,
as
and
usual,
adequate fire
negligence again.
Prevention measures. Flammable sound insulation and decorative materials had been packed tightly into confined spaces to cut costs, and the sparks from the welding work had ignited the materials, allowing the fire to spread rapidly.
I mean, this guy should have known where he should have been a little more. He's not even wearing glasses, bro. Like you lose your eyesight that way.
In the end, club managers, owners, and supervisors were detained. Dozens were charged with causing multiple deaths through negligence.
Yeah, but then they get a few years in prison. They don't even get life sentences for murder.
Congo's illegal miners. On the morning of November 15th, 2025, gunshots were heard at the Kalando mine in the Milondo village in the Democratic Republic of Congo. It was a cobalt mine, and hundreds of miners were at work. The gunshots caused immediate panic, and the workers began to
gunshot. Why would someone have a gun?
Bridge. However, the structure wasn't designed to hold so much weight at once. So
oh no, another landslide.
Collapsed. Those at the front fell first.
There's so many
were
people
pushed from behind, and some were crushed under the weight of bodies landing on top of them.
Oh, that's hundreds of people.
And confusion led to catastrophe. By the time the area settled, the scale of what had happened became apparent. At least 32 of the miners were dead.
Wow, that looked like way more than that.
And as the reports of the deaths and videos from the collapse surfaced, people online couldn't help but ask how and why. Yet the answers led to even more questions. Only days before, heavy rains had passed through the region, leaving the ground really unstable. As a result, access to the mine had been officially restricted, and military guards were stationed nearby to enforce the closure. So, what were the miners doing there, and why were there so many of them? Turns out they were part of a large group digging and selling cobalt without any authorized party.
Ah, so they were being negligent. The people like sourcing this material,
Overseeing their operations.
That's wild. Well, then you can't really. Well, y'all were doing like a black market thing over here.
Regulated workforces are pretty common in Congo because it's the world's largest producer of cobalt. What's even more disturbing is that to avoid any attention, the miners had built their own access routes, including that makeshift bridge. According to reports, military guards fired shots in an attempt to disperse the miners, which hit one in the leg and another in the hand, causing panic in the others. However, what happened after cannot be explained by the gunfire alone. It was a result of a chain of failures, only waiting for a moment.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna say they're on the bottom. Like them panicking and running is not gonna cause the top to avalanche down. You know, like that's literally a universe thing. Like you guys should not be here. The universe was like, okay, you want to try it? Go ahead. And then disaster.
Like this to collapse. To avoid similar incidents in the future,
Bro, don't make a freaking makeshift bridge and do things the right way.
From stadium to gravesite. Thousands of football
fans. Oh no, tell me that it's gonna collapse, isn't it?
Gathered at Hazel Stadium in Brussels for the European Cup final, and things got out of hand. It was May 29th, 1985, and segregation between supporters was minimal. As kickoff approached, the atmosphere shifted from anticipation to unease, with supporters pressing forward to find better vantage points. Roughly an hour.
Oh, that don't even look fun though. Like even if you're a fan, this is just too busy, bro. You can't even like have a good time with this.
Hour before kickoff, hostility between the fans of the two clubs, Liverpool and Juventus, escalated. Objects were thrown at both sides, but things got worse when a group of Liverpool supporters surged toward the Juventus fans' stand. As panic spread, people tried to back away from the advancing crowd, but with nowhere to go,
it's like the world's biggest mosh pit
against the wall. However, the wall was not designed to withstand sustained pressure. As the crowd pressed forward, people tried to push their way out of the suffocating crush. The pressure against the wall kept growing, and before anyone could react, the wall gave way. Dozens were crushed under the concrete, and the human weight pressing from behind. Others fell and were trampled in the chaos.
Bro, I mean, you guys were all like full speed running on the bleachers. Like, no
time. Investigations later revealed that the stadium was aging, with sections deteriorating and concrete bleachers cracking under years of use. In the end, 39 people died and about 600 were injured.
600? Oh my god, bro, and only 30-something died? Like, that's actually kind of a miracle.
The disaster led to sweeping changes in football safety regulations and a ban on English clubs from European competitions for 5 years.
Wow.
14 British/Liverpool supporters were later even convicted of manslaughter-related charges.
Wow. That's actually good, though. I mean, justice for the people who got hurt and died.
The 24 hours of Le Mans race in France had always drawn massive crowds. Spectators stood dangerously close to...
That's a silly way to start the race, no? I mean, you gotta pull out. These two guys are just waiting, bro.
On massive crowds. Spectators stood dangerously close to the track with minimal safety barriers. Cars reached unprecedented speeds.
Bro, that's just stupid. There's not even a barrier of any kind. Like, a car smashes, you're killing 30 people.
However, officials were more focused on maintaining the race's flow than on protecting the audience. So, during the evening of June 11th, 1955...
Bro, if this looks like 19... Like, there's no safety precautions taken here whatsoever.
Roughly 35 laps into the race, Jaguar driver Matt Hawthorne noticed a pit board calling...
Mike. He said Matt.
...him in for fuel. He sharply overtakes Lance Macklin and brakes hard to make the pit entry. But in response, Lance Macklin swerves instinctively to avoid colliding with him. Behind them, Pierre Levey, driving a Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR at high
bro, in 55? That's crazy.
speed, had no time to adjust. As a result, his vehicle
oh my god, no way.
into the air directly toward a packed grandstand.
Oh.
The impact was instantaneous. Levey's car disintegrated.
Oh my god, dude, it's the frame only.
On contact, sending debris and fragments flying into the crowd. 83 people were killed on the spot.
83, dude. That's way more than I thought.
While several more were injured. Levey himself died instantly.
Bro, you saw the car, bro, obviously.
However, the race organizers did not stop the event, fearing that a mass exodus from the race grounds would block roads and delay emergency services.
So for safety, we're gonna keep the show going? What the fuck?
Investigations later highlighted several errors contributing to the disaster. The separation between the track and spectators was too minimal. The pit layout was inadequate.
Dude, it's stupid. This guy's just standing there, bro. These cars are going so fast.
Safety precautions were insufficient. Following this, the Circuit de la Soudah, the race venue, underwent significant safety reforms and redesign. In the end, some countries temporarily banned racing, while Mercedes withdrew its cars from the competition.
Good idea, bro. Get out of that public backlight. Like, bro, that's just bad. Bro, 55, everything was just chaotic like 50 years ago, like 75 years ago.
On March 28, 2025, the earth began to shake across Myanmar.
Oh, here we go.
At first, it felt like a distant tremor, barely noticeable in everyday life. But then the vibrations intensified.
Oh my god, dude, that'd be so scary and you're so high up.
Across the region, ordinary streets transformed into unstable zones. Workers on construction sites froze and pedestrians darted for safety, yet the shaking only got faster with every passing second. In Bangkok, a 30-story building under construction collapsed in seconds. Dust and debris engulfed nearby streets. People ran blindly, dodging falling concrete and steel.
Oh my god, there has to be hundreds of people involved.
Rescue efforts mobilized hundreds of emergency...
Oh, it's just like stacked like a sandwich, bro. Look at all the layers, all the floors.
...personnel. However, unstable structures and falling debris complicated the response. Even electricity, water, and communications were disrupted. Authorities reported that 95 people were killed and dozens more were injured or missing beneath the rubble.
Yeah, over 100, bro. That's so sad.
Investigations later showed that the 30-story building was the only total collapse in Bangkok.
Yo, imagine seeing that on the freeway, dude.
In the end, 23 individuals and companies tied to the building project were charged with using forged documents and negligence.
Forged? Bro, this just every time it's just some negligence. Like, you can't trust nobody, bro.
Apps. On April 8th, 2025, the Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo was alive with music. Hundreds of concertgoers gathered for a merengue performance by Ruby Perez, unaware of what lay overhead. Slowly, the ceiling panels above began to shift and fixtures creaked with a metallic groan. But in a crowded room, these signals blended with the noise
you're not gonna
of a
hear
busy
any of
nightclub.
that.
The creaking finally got loud enough to cause a few people to glance up, but before anyone could understand what was happening, the roof gave way. Piece by piece, it fell onto the crowd below. Panic erupted.
Wait, why?
Searching for exits that were difficult to reach due to the crowd's density. The collapse had trapped many in confined spaces. Rescue teams arrived, but the extraction process was slow, complicated by debris and a compacted
The amount of
crowd.
people, yeah.
However, 189 survivors were successfully pulled from the rubble. But By April 14th, authorities confirmed the death toll had reached 230.
Oh my god, dude. Every one of them just trying to have a good time at the club. Every one of them.
31. Later investigation revealed that the roof collapse was caused by
Negligence.
multiple air conditioning units and water tanks above it. And in June 2025, the club's owner and his sister were arrested for negligence.
Every single one of these is negligence. Every time, bro.
Degrees Celsius, one of the hottest periods on record. Millions of pilgrims moved
This is the...
through the rituals following centuries-old traditions under the relentless sun. At first, they slowed, stumbled, and collapsed from exhaustion and dehydration.
Holy
medical teams raced to help, but makeshift cooling stations were overwhelmed. Soon, lines grew, aid slowed, and every
Yeah, bro, I've seen this in school in like the back in when the history books and shit like that, and they all like circle around it. There's like they like flow around.
Minute left more people struggling under the relentless heat. The disaster unfolded slowly, stretching across hours. Like a silent killer,
Bro,
heat
that
exhaustion
many
turned
people,
into
though?
heat stroke. Yet the pilgrims continued their rites, oblivious to how dangerously close they were to collapse. By the peak of the heat wave, over 13...
I get it though, man, because then you're just like, oh yeah, we're out here on, like being spiritual, bro. Like you're gonna try to like push yourself.
Pilgrims had died, and thousands more required urgent treatment.
From heat exhaustion? Oh my god, 1,300 people?
Unauthorized pilgrims traveling without official permits were hit the hardest, as they lacked access to air-conditioned transport, accommodations, and access to shelters.
Wow.
Saudi authorities reported 2,764 cases of heat exhaustion in a single day. Hospitals and paramedics worked non-stop, treating waves of collapsing pilgrims. Still, the numbers kept climbing. Ultimately, the families in multiple countries later reported loved ones either missing or dead. Saudi authorities later denied systemic failure, stating that the majority of fatalities involved...
Oh, she's in a wheelchair, bruh. And they're still like pushing. That's crazy. The determination.
Registered pilgrims. Official permits are capped at around...
Dude, and I'm sorry to keep pausing, but for 1,300 people to die, bro, like not like that many of them were like, I'm gonna keep going.
1.8 million issued through a quota system. Ultimately, many travel companies were accused of facilitating unregulated Hajj travel, leading to licenses being revoked and some of them being prosecuted. The ritual itself continued even as emergency teams worked to evacuate affected individuals.
Wow, dude, that's just a mess, though. There's just that many people, you're gonna have a problem.
When Darali disappeared. For years, the village...
No, bro, another landslide? Are you kidding me?
The village of Darali sat quietly in the Indian Himalayas, tucked between steep slopes and fast-moving river channels in Uttarakhand. To visitors, it looked timeless. But geologists and climate experts had been warning that Darali...
You can see it, dude. Just look at the place, dude.
...in the path of natural systems that had little space left. And what happened on August 5th, 2025, unfolded in less than 15 minutes. Some reports described it as a cloudburst. Others pointed to a possible glacial collapse upstream. Whatever the trigger, the result was catastrophic. Suddenly, a massive surge of water, mud, rock, and debris tore down the mountainside with almost no warning. The flow moved faster than any evacuation could have happened. Homes were crushed where they stood. Could have.
Sorry, getting distracted. Whatever. Nah, dude, this one's crazy, dude. It's the same as the other ones, though. A landslide, and then in 15 minutes, this whole town is just destroyed. Like, what the?
Homes were crushed where they stood. At the time,
bro, and then somebody's in there, dude. Somebody's like taking a shit at home, you know, and then the toilet, gone.
Homes were crushed where they stood. At the time, people were gathered at a nearby temple for a festival, concentrating large numbers in one place just as the surge arrived. The wave tore through the air.
Bro, and then it's a 15-minute span of time, and then they all happen to be gathering on that day. You know, it's universe, bro.
Area sweeping away structures and people alike. Several festival goers were killed on the spot, while others were dragged
dude, that is fully buried
away by the water before rescue teams could reach them. The temple itself suffered heavy damage, with sections of the structure collapsing under the force. Yet that force did not stop there. Parts of an army camp were destroyed, showing how overwhelming the impact truly was. By the time the surge stopped, nearly
bro, that car is buried.
half of Durali was gone. At least 4 deaths were confirmed in the immediate aftermath, and between 50 and 100 people were reported missing.
That sounds more like it, because you're just not gonna find them. Like, they're literally part of the earth now.
Families searched through mud and wreckage where streets had been just...
Bro, just imagine doing that too, desperately looking for your family member, and then you just find some other stranger that you don't know, their body.
Hours earlier. Around 150 Indian soldiers arrived quickly and managed to rescue roughly 20 survivors.
Oh my god, dude, this is so sad. That's so unfortunate. There's nothing you can do.
On November 9th, 2021, Istanbul's Ataşehir district became the site of a killing that would shake the country. 28-year-old architect Başak Cengiz
Oh no, I think I saw this on Twitter.
was walking alone, heading toward her destination, unaware she was being watched. Surveillance footage later showed a man approaching from behind. There was no argument, no visible interaction, and no sign of conflict, but within seconds, the routine motion of the street collapsed into violence. The attacker, 27-year-old Kryonaut, carried a samurai sword he had deliberately purchased and brought with him. Without hesitation, he struck Cengiz repeatedly before fleeing the scene. The attack was swift and brutal, ending before bystanders could fully process what they were seeing. Emergency services arrived shortly afterward, but Cengiz was pronounced dead on site.
It's a samurai sword,
What stood
bro.
out
That's
to the investigators
gross.
was not only how the attack happened, but why. Police were able to identify and detain Kryonaut within hours using CCTV footage. During questioning, he revealed a bizarre fact. Turns out Boz never had any connection with the victim. In fact, she was chosen at random. The only reason he gave was that he thought a woman would be easier to kill.
Yeah.
Later,
Basically the same thing.
Reports noted that a search of his residence uncovered multiple cutting tools, evidence that the act was deliberate and extreme. In April 2022, an Istanbul court sentenced Boz to aggravated life imprisonment, along with additional convictions related to threats and weapon charges.
Bro, that's not even that's hands down easy way, life in prison. You just killed someone with a sword.
In the early hours of November 5th, 2023, Juan DJ Johnny Walker Wamalon, 57, hosted this morning radio program.
No, dude, I think I know this video. Oh no, I know this video.
Radio and simultaneously streaming on Facebook from a small studio inside the safety of his home, only to find out it wasn't so safe after all. At around 5:30 a.m., a man enters the announcer's booth. He tells Wamalon that he has an important announcement. The request didn't sound unusual, so the microphone remained open and the live stream continued. But only moments later, gunshots rang out inside.
And then he steals his chain, bro.
The assailant took Wamalon's gold necklace and escaped, fleeing the scene with an accomplice waiting outside on a motorbike.
Dude, I saw that on Twitter, bro. Uncensored and everything. It's horrible.
The live stream continued briefly after the shooting. His listeners hear in shock as the audio...
Bro, I'm glad he's not showing any of it. It's so sad, dude. And he seems like the nicest guy. Just doing a good, just doing what he loves, man. That's so sad.
In Kurtalan Siirt province, Turkey, a wedding celebration was violently cut short. It was June 6, 2025. Among the guests gathered in traditional attire, the Hele dance brought people together in a familiar communal rhythm. Among the dancers was 19-year-old Adnan Peggoz, participating like everyone else.
Why is it always in a celebration?
However, security footage
that
later
stuff
showed
happens?
another young man approaching. Aziz Asma, also 19, who positioned himself closer to Peggoz. In his hand was a firearm, which he raises and, without warning, opens fire.
Oh my god.
Peggoz is shot in the back and collapses as guests flee in panic. The wedding instantly transforms into a crime scene, and the celebration abruptly comes to an end. Asma briefly threatened
an assassin
others
at the
before
wedding.
fleeing, only to be arrested shortly afterward at a nearby sports field. Peggoz, on the other hand, was quickly rushed to the Kurtalan State Hospital, but despite emergency treatment, he succumbed to his injuries.
Bro, just the surprise of the attack, like I feel like that alone would impact your survivability. Like if you had no idea it was coming.
As investigators piece together the boy's background, it becomes clear that the crime is not spontaneous. It was the endpoint of a long-running feud over the popular video game PUBG.
Huh?
Finally, on December 2nd, 2025, he was sentenced to aggravated life imprisonment with
over
no
a video game, bro?
reductions.
Of a PUBG, bro? Like one of the graphically least interesting games? Like it looks like ass.
Level 7.
Wow.
Like father, like son. On January 2nd, 2024, local officials in Barangay Montilla asked for outside help to deal with a situation they could no longer control. In the Philippines, barangays are the smallest local neighborhood unit, kind of like a village, and Barangay Montilla is part of the town of Moises Padilla. That day, 70-year-old Godofredo Templatura and his 32-year-old son, John Albert Templatura, were causing a disturbance in the area. Both men were intoxicated and behaving aggressively, or as the locals described, running amok.
Bro, he's pulling a jitty on.
Although the community officials tried to calm them down, it didn't work. So as the situation grew out of control, they asked for help from a nearby military unit. An armed soldier, Donan Socia, responded to the scene alone. During the confrontation, the son pulled out a bolo, a large machete-like blade that is used as a farm tool, but can also be used as a deadly weapon. And it was clear that he intended to use it for the latter. However, before he could strike, Donan fired his gun, and John fell to the ground.
Good.
It happened in only a matter of seconds. The father, Godofredo, tried to step in, but Donan shot him as well. Unfortunately, in the crossfire, two other civilians were also hit by stray bullets.
Oh.
Both were taken for medical treatment and later reported to be in stable condition. However, John Albert and Godofredo had died at the scene.
Dude, good. I mean, y'all being ridiculous, and then you're drunk. I think, getting shot while you're drunk, I think that's probably bad, right? Doesn't it like thin your blood or something? And then you would bleed more?
But a member of the CAFGU, short for Citizens Armed Force Geographical Unit. These are local civilians who assist the Philippine Army for security in...
I mean, that's what they're there for, bro. Doing their job. Stopping these people from running amok in a small little village. That's awesome.
My father...
At least that one you could feel good about, you know?
...is a policeman. It was Sunday, December 20th, 2020, around 5 p.m. in Panqui, Tarlac, Philippines, when a regular neighborhood dispute turned bloody. The parties involved were Jonel Noizca, a police officer, and his teenage daughter, Alicia, on one side, and 25-year-old Frank Anthony Gregorio and his 52-year-old mother, Sonia, on the other. The argument had started over Frank's snarky remarks toward Alicia and violating the noise regulation by firing boga, a large improvised bamboo cannon used in Filipino celebrations. Now mind you, Jonel was not on duty, and the area was far outside his jurisdiction. Yet, he invoked the right of way to force his way on Frank's property and arrest him. While Jonel confronted Frank, Sonia stepped in and refused to let go of her son. She pleaded with Alicia to stop her father, yet all the girl could reason with was, "My father is a policeman." To this, Sonia replied with a song lyric saying, "I don't care, AAA."
I don't care.
This seemed to trigger Jonel. He raised his 9mm service pistol and fired at point blank.
Bro, right in front of your kid.
Range. Sonia was shot in the back of the head, and she fell, yet she didn't let go of her son. But then, Jonel shot Frank once in the head and again at the same spot. As the mother and son
He just executed both of them.
On the ground, Jonel shot at Sonia once again to make sure that both were dead. All the while, his own teenage daughter stood merely feet away, and shockingly, the young girl didn't even flinch. The horrifying scene was witnessed by Gregorio's relatives and even recorded by one of the passersby. Right after the shooting, Jonel fled the scene on his motorcycle, leaving Alicia behind. However, only about an hour later, he surrendered to the police.
He left his daughter behind after murdering 2 people in front of him.
At Rosales Panganisan. He was immediately arrested and charged with with no possibility of bail.
Good.
Further investigations revealed that there was more to the dispute than mere noise disruption. In fact, the real story had started years earlier with a property dispute that Jonel had lost. The boga on December 20th was the final spark that turned years of tension into lethal violence. In court, Jonel was found guilty and sentenced to 40 years of imprisonment for each.
Good. Okay, 40 each.
However, only 3 months after his sentencing,
he died.
Jonel suffered a heart attack and died in police custody.
Good. I mean, it's better he just dead anyway, you know? I get people are like, oh, the justice though. But like, he's dead, bro. Like, his spirit gone.
Bondi Beach turned red. Every year, Bondi Beach hosts a Hanukkah celebration that brings thousands of people together. However, in 2025, that celebration ended in the worst way possible. On December 14th, the first night of Hanukkah, around 6:47 p.m. local time, 2 men opened fire on the crowd at the Hanukkah by the Sea gathering. The chaos quickly escalated as the gunmen positioned on a small pedestrian bridge near Campbell Parade, firing down toward the Hanukkah celebration. People were running and screaming, trying.
Dude, what the fuck's wrong with people, bro?
Cover.
That's so weird.
As shots rang out, one man
it's always a celebration.
Differently. 43-year-old Ahmed Al-Ahmed moved toward one of the shooters and managed to wrestle his gun away. This forced the attacker to retreat back onto the bridge instead of getting closer to the Hanukkah celebration.
Nice, bro.
Meanwhile, the police had also arrived at the scene, and about 5 minutes into the attack, one of the gunmen was shot dead. The second shooter, however, continued to fire from the bridge until he was critically wounded. By 7:37 p.m., the attack was over, and both suspects were in custody.
Dude, I just don't. What is the point of just mass shooting at a celebration, dude?
And his 24-year-old son, Navid Akram. Dashcam footage showed that before the main attack, a man and woman had tried to stop one of the gunmen as he exited his car. However, they were unable to do so and were later shot and killed. Investigators soon uncovered that the attack was pre-planned.
Bro, of course. I mean, this is just evil people. Oh my god, dude, what a thrill ass video every single time, bro.